ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So we were seeing in the previous verses Lord Brahma describing the spiritual world and also the qualification of one who can reach the spiritual world and the disqualifications of one who cannot reach the spiritual world. Who are the people who cannot approach or reach the spiritual world? And here it is described that the four Kumaras, they had achieved spiritual perfection by Yoga Balena, Yoga Maya Balena. By spiritual potency, it was possible for them to reach the spiritual world. So how the four Kumaras reached the spiritual world, and further description of the spiritual world is described in this verse. Tad Vishwaguru Adhikritam. Tad refers to the Vaikuntha planet. That Vaikuntha planet, the spiritual world, Vishwaguru Adhikritam. It is predominated by, it is controlled by, it is presided by Vishwaguru, which refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada translates by the teacher of the universe. So spiritual planet is predominated by the Supreme Lord, who is Vishwaguru. Bhuvanaika Vandyam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is presiding in the spiritual world, who is controlling, who is the predominator in the spiritual world, he is worshipable by all other planets, residents of all other planets. Bhuvanaika, Bhuvana means planets, Bhuvanaika Vandyam means he is the worshipable Lord of the residents of all the planets, including even the residents who are there in Vaikuntha planet. Then, Divyam Vichitra Vibudagraya Vimana Sochihi. That spiritual world, it has Vichitra Vimana. Very, very wonderful, very specially decorated Divyam Vimana, not ordinary Vimana. The airplanes there in the spiritual world are Divyam, and they are wonderfully decorated. Vichitra, Vichitra means beautifully decorated, wonderfully decorated. And who is the pilot there? Actually, the spiritual world, Vimanas do not require a pilot. But the devotees are there who are the pilot there. Vibhuddha Agraya. Agraya means the foremost. Buddha means learned. Vibhuddha means specially learned. So that refers to devotees of the Lord. That we will see why it refers to the devotees of the Lord. The foremost of all learned, the foremost devotees of the Lord, they are riding that airplane in the spiritual world. And then Prabhupada says, because of the presence of the devotees and because of the presence of the Supreme Lord, because all the spiritual planets are predominated by the Supreme Lord, not ordinary people. Even the people who are present there, they're all extraordinary, foremost of all learned people. Because of their presence, these four Kumaras, they got unprecedented happiness. Apurvam, it is said here, Apurvam means, Purvam means before, Apurvam means never before. Never before they had experienced such kind of happiness, which now they experienced in Vaikuntha planet. So Prabhupada says, why it is? This is because of there is no mundane person present in the spiritual world. The Supreme Lord is present, who is the predominator, who is Bhuvaneika Vandyam, who is Vishwaguru Adhikritam, and also Vibhuddhagraya, because of the wonderful devotees who are present in the spiritual world. Because of their presence, these four Kumaras, they got unlimited happiness. The happiness which they had never perceived earlier. Apuhu paramudam apurvam. Apuhu means they achieved paramudam, great happiness. Mudam means happiness. Apurvam, which they had never obtained earlier. Actually, these four Kumaras, they are all already Brahman realized souls. So even when they had realized Brahman, and now when they have achieved Vaikuntha planets, when they have now reached Vaikuntha planet, it is said here in Bhagavatam that this happiness they had never got, forget about in the material world, even in Brahma Sakhyam, they never got this kind of happiness, which now they have achieved. And then, how it was possible for these four Kumaras to go to the spiritual world? Is it possible for some ordinary person? Is it possible by some mechanical mean one can go to the spiritual world? Is it possible one day our scientific advancement can progress to such a extent that we will be able to develop some airplanes, we will be able to develop some technology by which we will be able to enter into the spiritual world? Prabhupada says, no, that is not possible. The scientists have estimated that even to go to the highest planet of the material world, they will require how many? 40,000 light years, right? Prabhupada says here. I'll just read that. Modern mechanical space vehicles are unsuccessful because they cannot go to the highest region of this material creation. And they certainly cannot enter the spiritual sky. That's why the particular word which is used here is not just Maya Balena. It is not by material nature, by the force of material nature they can enter. Yoga Maya Balena. It is only by spiritual potency that they were able to enter into the spiritual world. So that's why Prabhupada is saying they will be unsuccessful. They cannot go to the highest region of this material creation, and they certainly cannot enter the spiritual sky. But by perfection of yoga system, one can not only travel through the material space, but can surpass material space and enter the spiritual sky. So, this is explained in this verse here. So, 4 very important concepts are explained. So, what are the 4 important concepts? Let us go one by one. What is the first one? First one, Prabhupada explains about Vishwa Guru Adhikritam. The Supreme Lord, He is the predominator of everything. All material planets and all spiritual planets are predominated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that is why He is called here as Vishwa Guru. What is the second concept which Prabhupada talks about in this purport? Bhuvaneika Vandyam. Prabhupada talks about that the Supreme Lord, who is the predominator of all planets, including even the spiritual planet, He is worshipable by everyone else. Bhuvaneika Vandyam. Third very important concept which Prabhupada talks about is the wonderful personalities who are present in the spiritual world, and even the wonderful things which are present in the spiritual world. The Vimanas are also not ordinary, they are Divya Vimana. You see? And they are piloted by Vibuddha Agraya, by the foremost of learned personalities, which refers to the devotees of the Lord. This is the third concept. And the fourth concept which Prabhupada talks about is that they achieve unprecedented happiness in the spiritual world because they were able to go there and meet the Supreme. They were able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they were able to get the presence of the foremost of the devotees of the Lord in the spiritual world. Because of their presence, these 4 Kumaras were able to get this unprecedented happiness they achieved. And they were able to go to the spiritual world not by some material technique, but Yogamaya Balena. By the Yogamaya, by the influence of spiritual potency of the Lord. So Prabhupada, in the very beginning of the purport, explains about this concept of Vishwa Guru. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is called as Vishwa Guru. Vishwa Guru, Guru means one who imparts spiritual knowledge. He is called as Guru, right? Why the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called as Vishwa Guru? We all obtain knowledge from spiritual master, but the Supreme Lord is called as Vishwa Guru. Or he is also called as Adi Guru. He is the original spiritual master, right? It is one and the same. Because he is the one, even in this universe, the first living entity was Brahma. Brahma is the one now who is describing the spiritual world. But he also had no idea. He had no idea about himself. He had no idea about his duties. And he had no idea definitely about the spiritual world. Even he was perplexed. So even he was lacking in knowledge. So knowledge to the first living entity of the universe is also given by the Supreme Personality of God. That is explained in the very first verse of Bhagavatam. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Surayaha. So even to Brahmaji, Adi Kavaye, this spiritual knowledge, Brahma Gyan, this knowledge about the spiritual world, this was given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his heart. See? So he is called as Adi Guru or Vishwa Guru. So Prabhupada is explaining here The Supreme Personality is one without a second. He is Adi. There is no one before Him. He is one without a second. He is above everyone. No one is equal to Him. No one is greater than Him. Therefore, He is described here as Vishwaguru. And here it is said, Vishwaguru Adhikritam. It is predominated by Vishwaguru. The spiritual world is predominated by the Supreme Lord. Now, we also know spiritual master is also called as Vishwaguru or Jagadguru. Correct? So, how do we understand this concept? That the Supreme Lord is also called Vishwaguru or Jagadguru, and the spiritual master, the representative of the Supreme Lord, he is also called as Jagadguru. One may wonder, if the Supreme Lord is Vishwaguru, Jagadguru, why not take knowledge from Him directly? He is Jagadguru, He is Vishwaguru. There are a class of people who say this slogan, Krishna Vandam, what is that? Krishna Vande Jagadguru. Correct? So He is the only Jagadguru. So we don't require any other spiritual master. This is what sometimes some sect of people, they think like this. So this question was put to Prabhupada also by Dr. Patel. So he put this question, that actually Krishna Vande Jagadguru, he is the only spiritual master of entire world. Then why do we require to surrender? Why do we require to approach anyone else? Why not we approach directly the Supreme Personality of God? And sometimes we find, even in some recent films also, they had projected this, in that we don't require a middleman. So they are thinking this spiritual master or the guru, he is a middleman. Why do we require a middleman? Why don't we go directly and approach the Supreme Lord? Right? So sometimes this is confused by the people. What is the position of the spiritual master? So the same question was asked by Dr. Patel. Dr. Patel asked, Krishnam Vande Jagadguru, he is Jagadguru. If you approach him, then why physical guru? Krishnam Jagadgurum, Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. So he is asking, why then physical guru is required? If we can approach the Supreme Lord, he is Jagadguru. Prabhupada, you have to go to Krishna, not directly. You have to go through the devotee of Krishna. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadaha. So Prabhupada says, you cannot get the mercy of the Supreme Lord directly. If you want the mercy of the Supreme Lord, you have to approach the devotee of the Lord. Then it is possible. Then Dr. Patel, again in Sanskrit, he speaks some verse. Prabhupada says, that is Adhau Shraddha. If you have got faith in Krishna, then next stage is Tato Sadhu Sangha. So Prabhupada is saying, okay, you have faith in the Supreme Lord, that is only the beginning. But next stage is not approaching Krishna directly. Faith in Krishna, that is beginning. But just having faith in Krishna, so I will approach Krishna directly, no. That is not possible. Faith in Krishna, Krishna will guide you to spiritual master. You see, what is the next stage? Krishna gives the faith. All of us develop faith in the Supreme Lord. But then Krishna is saying, even though you have developed faith in me, next step is not that you worship me directly. Next step is, you go to sadhu. Adau Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha. Next stage is, you have to approach the devotee of the Lord. And who is sadhu? Bhajante maam ananya bhag. Sadhureva samantavya. So that is also described. What is sadhu sangha? Is it some mystic yogis? Is it some jnanis? So Krishna is describing who is sadhu. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is very clear. Bhajante mam ananya bhat. One who is worshipping me without deviation. He is called sadhu. Sadhu reva samantavya. He is called sadhu. So, if you want to see Krishna, you have to see first of all his devotee. And then Prabhupada quotes from Vedic literature. Mam bhaktya puja abhidikaha. If you worship my devotee, that is better worship than worshipping me directly. So Krishna is saying very clearly that worshipping me and worshipping my devotee, which is better, Krishna is saying those who worship my devotees, they are better than. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Guru Krishna kripaya paye bhakti lata bij. So actually, the bhakti lata bij is given by Guru and Krishna kripa. Then it is possible to have the seedling of that bhakti lata. He does not say Krishna kripa. He says Guru kripa first. You see, Guru Krishna kripaye paye bhakti lata bij. So Krishna himself is placing the spiritual master before him. And we see that even in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna was utterly confused, when he said that, I am karpanya dosho pahat svabhavaha prachami tvam dharma sammudacheta. When he was completely bewildered in his duty, so Krishna advised him that he should approach a spiritual master. Right? Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti tad jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. He should approach tattvadarshina, one who has seen the truth. He should approach such a person. And he should inquire from him about the absolute truth. He can give him the knowledge about absolute truth. So that we find even in Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna himself is saying. Then, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he explains very nicely about this. The first chapter itself is called the spiritual master. So before describing the Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami offers obeisances to his spiritual master. So there he explains very beautifully. Guru Krishna Rupa Haya Shastrera Pramane. Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karena Bhakta Gane. So Prabhupada explains what does it mean. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scripture, Shastrena Pramane. So according to the deliberation of all revealed scripture, what does it say? Guru Krishna Rupa Haya. The spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. You see? The spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. The Supreme Lord actually takes an external form as spiritual master. As Paramatma, he inspires one within the heart, and when one is ready to have that faith, then the Paramatma in the heart guides the living entity to external spiritual master. So from internal, the Lord inspires as Paramatma, and then when one is ready to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Paramatma in the heart guides him to external spiritual master. So that Paramatma himself manifests as external spiritual master. That has to be understood very clearly. The Paramatma Krishna, the Supreme Lord Himself, manifests as external spiritual master. So He is non-different from Krishna. But of course we have to understand that not that the spiritual master is Krishna, non-different from Krishna. You see, he has got all the Shakti. He is empowered by the Lord. That is what we have to understand. Then, Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karena Bhaktagane. Through Guru Rupa, now Krishna has become manifested as external spiritual master. Now, in the form of spiritual master, now Guru gives that Krishna Kripa. So it is Krishna only, he becomes manifested as external spiritual master and then gives that Krishna Kripa. Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karena Bhaktagane. Unto the devotees, the spiritual master thus gives that Krishna mercy. So Prabhupada very beautifully translates, according to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scripture, the spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of spiritual master, delivers his devotees. So Krishna does not deliver directly. That is what we should understand, not directly. Through spiritual master, Krishna only delivers. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, we cannot approach Krishna directly. We have to approach, the Lord has made this system, we have to approach through the spiritual master. Then it is possible to get Krishna Kripa. Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasad. It's a very simple method. How do we know Krishna is pleased with me or not? Prabhupada says, if our spiritual master is pleased with me, we should know Krishna is pleased. If we have got the mercy of spiritual master, we should understand we have got mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, there is no possibility. Yasya aprasadat nagati kutopi. If the spiritual master is not pleased, there is no way you can go to Krishna. There is no possibility. So that's why you will find, especially in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, so much importance is given to the spiritual master. So much so, Prabhupada, according to this principle, because this is the principle, not that Prabhupada wanted to put himself in the front. You see? So when, after a few years of Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada, when he started this Guru Puja in ISKCON, the devotees were surprised in that. Prabhupada said that now, when you have accepted your spiritual master, you should understand the spiritual master is as good as Krishna. So right, very much our day, early in the morning, begins with remembering the spiritual master. The 8 shlokas, the Guru, that what we, Samsara Dava. So it is the glorification of the spiritual master. So before worshipping even Krishna, we first worship the spiritual master. Before offering to Krishna, we offer through spiritual master. That is the procedure. That is how it is. So then, how this principle is derived? Who has brought this principle? Is it Krishna himself? Yes. In Bhagavatam, while speaking to, I think this is Uddhava. While speaking to Uddhava, Krishna brings this most important principle. And this is the next shloka of this Chaitanya Charitamrita also. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami quotes that shloka. Acharyam mam vijaniyan na avamanyeta karhichit na martya buddhaya suyeta sarvadeva mayo guruhu. So Prabhupada translates that one should know the Acharya as myself. Acharya mam vijaniyan. Krishna himself is telling to Uddhava, Acharya should be known as good as me. And then next he says, Na avamanyeta. Avamanyeta means apamana. He should never be disrespected. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. And then, Na martya buddhaya suyeta sarva deva mayo guruhu. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man. You see? Why? He is the representative of all demigods. So this is the position of the spiritual master. He is not an ordinary personality. So Prabhupada explains, I'll just read one paragraph of that. Beautifully Prabhupada explains. This is the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by Lord Krishna when he was questioned by Uddhava. The Lord was specifically instructing how a brahmachari should behave under the care of a spiritual master. A spiritual master is not an enjoyer of facilities offered by his disciple. He is like a parent. Without the attentive service of his parent, a child cannot grow to manhood. Similarly, without the care of the spiritual master, one cannot rise to the plane of transcendental service. You see? So, this is a very important principle which Prabhupada states about the spiritual master. So here, Krishna is addressed as Vishwa Guru. So similarly, we can understand that the representative of Krishna is also, he is also Jagat Guru. And if we have to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then it is possible only by approaching the spiritual master. And next important point, which Prabhupada explains is about Bhuvaneka Vandyam, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is worshipable by the residents of all planets, including the residents of the spiritual world. And Vibudha Agrayaha, the spiritual world is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is surrounded by his loving devotees who are the foremost of all the learned people. So, why the devotees, we were trying to discuss this point. Why does Prabhupada say here they are called as devotees? Vibudha Agraya. Why it is not simply some learned person? Anyone can quote one very important shloka from Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says that actually the devotees are the one who are called as Buddha. Anyone knows that shloka? Ram Gopal? Aham sarvasya prabhavo, then mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvitaha. So, very clearly it says, only one who knows that I am the origin of everything, aham sarvasya prabhavo, and everything emanates from me, mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva. Knowing this, if somebody knows this, what does he do? Buddha bhava samanvitaha. With his intelligence and with emotions, bhava samanvitaha, he worships me. There is another shloka which explains about the devotees. They are the most learned. What is that? No, not that one. No one remembers? After many, many lifetimes, Gyanis, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvam Mam Prapadyante Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. So such a person who surrenders to Krishna after millions of lifetime of achieving the proper knowledge, when he surrenders to the Lord, he is actually very, very Sudurlabha. He is called as Mahatma. So we'll stop with this. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.